Science has discovered new revolutionary treatment to make you live longer. It enhances your memory and makes you more creative. It makes you look more attractive. It keeps you slim and lowers food cravings. It protects you from cancer and dementia. It wards off colds and the flu. It lowers your risk from heart attacks and stroke, not to mention diabetes. You will even feel happier, less depressed, and less anxious. Are you interested? This is opening from one of the chapters from Matthew Walker's book, Why We Sleep. It's funny and sad at the same time, because instead of this first sentence emphasizing new revolutionary treatment, it would say, for example, these are benefits of sleeping, then those statements probably would not interest you because, well, you already knew that sleep has many benefits, but it's not a good time to have plenty of sleep just this one night. Once again, of course. The truth is, it's always the best time to sleep enough, and there should be nothing more important for you. Because people usually pay more attention to negative stimuli. Here are the few consequences of sleeping less than 6 hours. These would be weakened immune system, increased risk of certain forms of cancer, Alzheimer's disease, and cardiovascular diseases. Also, your blood sugar levels will be disrupted so profoundly that you could be classified as pre-diabetic. And if you're interested in diets and not get enough sleep, most weight you lose will be from your lean body mass, but not fat. Is it now enough reason for you to get better and more sleep? If answer is yes, here are 12 tips on how to achieve it. The first step is to stick to a sleeping schedule. That means going to bed and waking up at the same time each day, weekends included. Actually, this is a great way to measure if you're sleeping enough. You should not want to sleep longer on weekends, especially because sleeping longer on weekends won't fully make up for a lack of sleep during the week, but it will make it harder to wake up early on Monday. This is the most important tip of all 12. So you may want to keep your alarms for both, getting up and going to sleep. The second tip, don't exercise too late in the day. Exercise is a great way of improving your overall health and sleep in general, but you almost never want to do any hard sports closer than 2 or 3 hours to your bedtime. Next, you want to avoid any form of caffeine and nicotine. Maybe it's not always possible to change your lifestyle that drastically, but try not to consume any of these at least in the second part of the day. Coffee effects can remain for as long as 8 hours. So, for example, a cup of coffee in late afternoon can already make it hard for you to sleep during the night. Notice that I said any form. Not everyone knows, but caffeine can be found not only in coffee, but also in certain teas, colas, and even chocolate, so be careful. As for nicotine, it usually causes smokers to sleep very lightly and wake up too early for their bodies. The fourth tip, avoid alcoholic drinks before bed. These may help you relax, but it only sedates you out of wakefulness and does not induce natural sleep. The brainwave state you enter via alcohol is not a natural sleep. It's rather similar to a light form of anesthesia. Probably I don't have to tell you that anesthesia is not as good as sleep, so the same goes for a drunk sleep. To put it briefly, alcohol fragments sleep, filling your night with a lot of awakenings, but most of these go unnoticed since the sleeper doesn't remember them. Of course, it does not mean they don't exist. Also, during the first half of the night, alcohol can suppress REM sleep, making everything even worse. So if you are having a hard time falling asleep or have an important task tomorrow, alcohol is really a bad idea. Avoid large meals and beverages at night. Now, you don't have to be sticking to the diet here, some snacks are okay. But large meals not only will interfere with sleep for upcoming night, but they also, if eaten frequently, will start to shift your circadian rhythm. It's worth knowing that our natural sleep cycle is a bit longer than 24 hours, so the body is used to constantly shift it by picking up on cues like sunlight, exercise or food intake. That's why if you eat a full meal and go to sleep immediately, you will give mixed signals that surely will not produce the best result. Next, try to avoid any medicine that may delay or disrupt your sleep. This tip is the one that you should not trust me alone. It's up to your healthcare provider to make the final decision. But when it's possible, try to take medicine at least early in the evening, because even simple remedies for coughs, colds, or allergies can disrupt your sleep pattern. Tip number 7. Don't take naps after 3 p.m. Naps themselves can be a great way to refresh or make up some lost sleep. But if you take one too close to your bedtime, it will make it harder to fall asleep again soon. This happens mainly because after you take a nap, the amount of one chemical in your brain gets reduced. This chemical is called adenosine and it's responsible for you wanting to sleep. So after you take a nap, the urge to sleep won't be that strong. And if you don't give enough time for adenosine to build back, you will struggle to fall asleep again. Sometimes people want to go to sleep at the same speed they have been going through the day. They want to fall asleep immediately and right after doing something important. Well, this won't work with sleep. You really need to take time to relax and forget about all things you've done. If you really like structured type of a day, maybe you can create an appointment, sort of ritual for preparing to sleep. It could be anything like reading, listening to music or watching stars. Pick up anything you like that makes you calm, don't force yourself to sleep and it will come itself. Tip number 9. Take a hot bath before a bed. In fact, it could be one of the rituals for the previous tip. Hot bath not only works because in general you won't be stressed while being in it, but it also increases your body temperature. So after you get out and go to bed, your body starts to cool down. This drop in body temperature mimics the natural drop that occurs as your body prepares to sleep, so it works backwards as well. Once you get to your bedroom, keep it dark, cool and gadget-free. Some people can only sleep in complete darkness, so go ahead and try this out. We have already figured out that lower temperatures help to start sleeping process, so that also translates in having a lower temperature in your room. As for gadgets, any noises or distractions are not good, and I probably don't have to tell you that to fall asleep, first of all you need to put that phone down with sound off. Sometimes, when it's not easy to start sleeping, the last thing one wants to see is a clock, because it reminds you how much time you already spent in bed. If you have that problem, consider making clocks not visible when you go to sleep. I have already told you, but sunlight can help shift your circadian rhythm. Now it's time to use it. The 11th tip is to have sunlight exposure in the mornings. If possible, get outside for 30 minutes or so. If not, just get as much sunlight as possible, because it sets the start of your circadian rhythm, which will make it easier to fall asleep on time. The last tip. If you're not sleeping in 20 minutes after desperately trying, it's time to get out of bed. The worst thing that could happen is not that today you will be going to sleep later, but it could be really bad if you start feeling anxious or irritated, and this place of sleep becomes associated with a struggle but not the sleep itself. Also, you probably will not fall asleep until you are anxious or think that you can't do it. So it's best to change your environment, do something relaxing or not important, and come back to bed when you really want to sleep. Here are 12 quick tips on how to have better sleep. Hope you find them useful, and if you did, give a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel. I'll be waiting for you to come back and get more insights on your superior life. Bye bye!